Hi everyone, my name is Haley Lane and today I am making a video on behalf of OstoVitalis LLC. Today I will be cooking for you and making something that I like to call energy bites. And the inspiration for this recipe came partially out of my own laziness in the morning and partially for the need to fuel my body throughout the day with something more nutritious than just like a processed energy bar. So these energy bites contain the nutrients that are found in the OstoVitalis product Bone Vitality. It has magnesium, boron, vitamin D, and it also has calcium in it because, as you know from Dr. Lane's previous talks, we should be receiving our calcium from food sources, not from supplements or vitamins. So to start off today, this is an incredibly easy recipe, and it's pretty hard to call it a recipe at all because it's basically just dumping a bunch of things into a bowl. So this recipe is really fun for kids to do, or it's really easy to whip up the night before. It's a great grab and go snack when you're on the run to work or to school. So to start out, I will be taking 2 cups of oatmeal, and oatmeal is high in calcium and magnesium, and I will be placing it in the bowl of a mixer. If you don't have a mixer, you can definitely do this by hand. It's really fun for kids to get to mix it up and that kind of thing. So we're just gonna dump 2 cups of oats in there. We're also going to dump some chopped up almonds, and almonds are really, really high in boron and calcium. And I just took about a 1/4 cup, measured them before I chopped them, and then chopped them into pretty much bite-sized pieces. So we're just going to put those in the bowl. We're also going to add some chia seed, and I love chia seed, and you won't even really taste it in this recipe. It just adds an extra kick of calcium, and I like to put about 2 tablespoons of chia seed in mine. You don't have to do chia seed if you don't want to. You can do flax seed, or you can just omit it altogether. But I just kind of like the extra little boost of nutrients that it gives you. All right, and then after that, we're gonna add some coconut flake, and you can use the sweetened coconut flake if you want to. I'm using the unsweetened coconut flake right now. And coconut has calcium and magnesium in it, so it's a good source of both of those. I'm just using about 2 tablespoons of the coconut flake. All right, and then we start to get into our wetter ingredients. And the main binder for this is peanut butter. And it's really, really important that you use a natural peanut butter and not one of those processed peanut butters. Those are mostly hydrogenated oil and are not actually real peanuts. So they don't have the nutrients and the benefits that real peanuts and peanut butter do. So peanut butter has a lot of boron in it, which is kind of fun. I never knew that before I started doing this. So we're just gonna add about 1 cup of peanut butter in there. You can kind of adjust it to how you like it. Some people like less, some people like more. And if you're blending it up and you notice that it's not sticking, you can add more peanut butter if you'd like. But I just start with 1 cup. All right, and then we're gonna add some honey. And honey is a really, really great source of boron. And I just kind of eyeball the honey. But also with honey, you need to, like with the peanut butter, use a natural source and make sure that it's 100% pure honey. There are some honeys out there that are mixed with corn syrup, and that is just not as good as the 100% natural. So I've just added my 2 tablespoons of honey, and what I like to do next, just so that it kind of sticks to the bowl better, is add just a little bit of nutmeg, and I usually just add a pinch, and this is just to give it a little bit more flavor and spice. You're welcome to use cinnamon if you'd like. I just like the spiciness that nutmeg gives it. Just a little pinch, you don't need a lot. Nutmeg is a really powerful spice, so don't go crazy with it. All right, so then after that, I'm going to add about 1 cup of chopped prunes and dates. And I just chop them up until they're about bite-sized pieces. Now, prunes and dates are really, really high in boron as well, but you need to make sure that you are getting a good quality date and prune. So I like the Sunsweet brand, but just make sure that you're chopping up into bite-sized pieces because they will not break down in the blender. All right, put those in the bowl. Good. And then I also like to add 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, and this is just to give it a little bit more stick and a little bit more shine. And I just melted it in the microwave for a few seconds. You could also use an unflavored olive oil if you don't have coconut oil at home. And then for the last part, because I like a little sweet all the time, and I know that kids do too, I put in some chocolate chips at the end. And I use dark chocolate chips because dark chocolate chips have vitamin D in them. You can use dark chocolate M&Ms if you'd like, if you think that would make it more fun for your kids. But when you are buying dark chocolate, make sure that you're looking at the bag. And it will tell you the cacao content on there. 60% is usually where you like to be at. That's not too bitter and it's not too sweet. And it's just right, like Goldilocks. So I usually try to stay at the 60% mark. If you're getting any higher, like to the 70, 80, 90%, that starts to get kind of bitter and kids will not like that. And I don't like that either. So we'll just dump those in. And then you just start it up and give the mixer a whir. Blend it all together. Sing a little song while you're doing it. And you should see it'll start to kind of clump up a little bit. You want to make sure that there's no oats stuck to the bottom of the bowl. And it should be starting to form kind of a little mass. And if it's not, you can add more peanut butter and honey as needed. That looks pretty good. All right. So I will tilt the bowl up here. So as you can see, it's kind of started to clump up a little bit and form this kind of sticky, doughy material, and that's what you want. So then with your clean hands, just kind of press them into little bite-sized balls. You can make them bigger if you want, but I usually try to do it in one bite. Make them into bite-sized pieces. And then these need to be refrigerated. I like them best when they're cold anyway, but because they have peanut butter and honey on them, they can spoil if you leave them on the counter, but I promise you they won't stick around very long, so you won't need to worry too much about that. So that's basically it. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment, and the recipe will be listed down below the video and on the OstoVitalis website. Thanks, guys.